Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all, Chanakya Career Academy YouTube classes, live YouTube classes. And now today we are going to have the discussion on one of the TET question papers, which most of the students are going to write their examination on 6th November. I think that will be of a great help for them. So the question paper I have selected for that particular examination is here displayed on this particular board. And before going to that particular concept, we have it is time to think about the type of questions we have for that particular examination. So we have 30 questions for English language, language English. Total number of questions 30. Total number of questions 30. And they are divided into, for passage comprehension, we have 8 questions. And poem comprehension, we have 7 questions related to that particular poem. And next, for grammar aspect, we have 5 questions there. And lastly, it is methodology. For methodology, we have 10 questions. Totally, the questions are divided into these 4 important parts. Keep that in your mind. So their first 8 questions are related to passage comprehension. First 8 questions are related to passage comprehension. You will be given a passage and you have to read that particular passage. On the basis of your comprehension, you have to write the answers. And the number of questions for allotted for that particular passage is 8. And the number of questions for the poem comprehension is 7. And for grammar aspect, there are just 5 questions which will be asked to check your grammar knowledge. And for methodology, there are 10 questions allotted for that question. So totally like this, 30 questions are allotted. And now today, in this particular session, we are going to have a discussion on the particular question paper, selected question paper. And I have selected a question paper for you. So look at this part number 1, language 1, the English, subject English. So direction is given there, question number 1 to 8. It means from question number 1 to question number 8, they are related to this particular passage. ಅದೇನಾಗಿದೆ, 1ರಿಂದ 8ನೇಯವರೆಗಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿವೆ? ಈ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಹೆನ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ಗಳಾಗಿವೆ. So read the passage given below and answer the questions. You have to read the passage. First of all, you have to understand one important thing. Reading is not just uttering the words. ಓದುವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇವಲ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡುವುದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Reading is understanding the passage, comprehension of the passage. You have to comprehend the passage, what is given there in the passage. The title of the passage is also given there, The Beautiful Moon. That is the title of the passage. First, so to understand any passage, first of all, you have to read a passage. Passage anna ಮೊದಲು ಓದಬೇಕು. and look at the questions given below that particular passage. ಆ passage ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಓದಬೇಕು and again you have to reread that particular passage. ಆ passage ಅನ್ನ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಓದಬೇಕು. First of all, go for the first hand reading of that particular passage. First hand reading of that particular passage, the beautiful moon. Have you ever dreamed of going to the moon? This passage starts with a question. Have you ever dreamed of going to the moon? ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕನಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? That is the question the writer asks you. In July 1969, two American astronauts walked on the moon. It means there is a information given in the month of the July. The year is 1969. Two American astronauts, the name of them is given here. Their names were Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. So these are the two important names you have to take note of. So their names have been given here, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. If you visited the moon today, keep that in your mind. If you visited moon today, you would still be able to see their footprints. Look at that particular point. If you have a good knowledge about science ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ knowledge ಇದ್ರೆ, you can understand this paragraph. So in the year 1969, in the month of July, two American astronauts went to moon. They were Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Now, if you visit today, ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ ಕೈಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, you can see their footprints there. ಅವರ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಗುರುತುಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. That is the most important point. If you have a good knowledge about that particular science concept ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ, then you can understand this particular paragraph easily. We can see the footprints of a person on the moon still today because there is no atmosphere. And they also left behind their national flag. They also left their national flag. It means American national flag. When the astronauts went to the moon, they needed to wear space suits and helmets. So it means the astronauts, if any astronauts want to go to the moon, they need to take space suits and helmets. Why are they needed? That is most important, to protect them, because sometimes the moon is very cold. This is most important point. Sometimes the moon is very cold. ಕೆಲವು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಂದ್ರ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಬಹಳ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Sometimes the moon is very cold. Look at this particular point. Sometimes the moon is very cold, and at other times it is very hot. Sometimes it is cold and other times it is very hot. It means it is not always, it's not always cold or it's not always hot. ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಬಿಸಿ ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಚಳಿ ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Sometimes the moon is very cold and at other times it is very hot. That is the point. The helmets helped them breathe because there is no air on the moon. So why do astronauts carry helmets with them? This is the point. The helmets helped them breathe because there is no air on the moon. That is the point. And now look at the third paragraph. Did you know that if you weighed 70 pounds on earth, if you weighed 70 pounds on this earth, if you weighed 70 pounds on this earth, you would weigh only 11.5 pounds on the moon? So this is a question. Did you know it? The writer is asking, checking your comprehension. Did you know that if you weighed 70 pounds on earth, you weigh only 11.5 pounds on the moon? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತೂಕ 70 ಪೌಂಡ್ಗಳಿಷ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತೂಕ ಕೇವಲ 11.5 pounds ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And if you went for a walk on the moon, you would bounce with each step. That is most important. You would bounce, you would come back with each step. Some people say the moon is made out of Swiss cheese. So this is a reference given here, Swiss cheese. If you have an idea about this Swiss cheese, you can understand the concept. Swiss cheese, it is a kind of a food. That is a kind of a food. It looks like this. Look at this Swiss cheese. So, so this is a food item. If there are some holes in it, this kind of food is called as Swiss cheese. This kind of food is called as Swiss cheese. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫುಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವು ತಗ್ಗುಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. That is called as Swiss cheese. And if you go to the moon, look at this, and if you went for a walk on the moon, you would bounce with each step. Some people say the moon is made out of Swiss cheese because there are holes. The reason is given here, because there are holes. There are holes, and those holes are called as craters. Keep this in your mind. ಆ ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ತಗ್ಗು ಗುಂಡಿಗಳೇನಿವೆ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್, and they are called as craters on the moon. And actually, the craters were caused by large rocks from space, and that is called as meteorites. So meteorites in Kannada, we can call that as ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮೆಟಿಯೋರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಆಗಿದೆ. Meteorites means ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು. And these craters, what you call as holes, ನೀವು ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕರೆದಿದ್ರಿ, ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ತಗ್ಗು ಅಥವಾ ಗುಂಡಿಗಳಿವೆ, ಆ ಗುಂಡಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು craters ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ. And these craters are created because of a large rocks from space called meteorites. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು ಚಂದ್ರನಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಬಡಿದು ಬಡಿದು ಅಪ್ಪಳಿಸಿ ಅಪ್ಪಳಿಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿವೆ, ತಗ್ಗುಗಳು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಿವೆ, ಹಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ the moon. The meteorites hit the moon and the craters were formed, and those craters are called as holes. ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ತಗ್ಗುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Here is another interesting thing about the moon. Did you know that the moon is like a mirror? Did you know that the moon is like a mirror? Why do you consider moon is like a mirror? It reflects the light of the sun and sends it to earth. ಅದೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, it reflects the light of the sun and sends to earth. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಫಲಿಸ್ತದೆ. That's why that is called as a mirror, and makes the moon look bright and beautiful. So that makes the moon look bright and beautiful. Don't you agree? We have a beautiful moon. Again, that particular passage paragraph ends with a question. So the paragraph starts with a question. ಅದೇನಾಗಿದೆ, it started with a question, have you ever dreamed of going to the moon? And it ended with this question again, don't you agree we have a beautiful moon? So like this, first of all, you have to understand, comprehend the passage. You have to comprehend the passage as much as possible, and look at the examples questions ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ questions ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ again reread that paragraph. Now look at the first question. If a person weighed 35 pounds on earth, the person's weight on the moon would be. If a person weighed 35 pounds on earth, ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ 35 ಪೌಂಡ್ ತೂಕ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ರೆ, the person's weight on the moon would be, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ತೂಕ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಾಗಿದೆ, that is the question. And your options are given here. First one is 23 pounds, second one is 11.5 pounds, third one is 5 by 3/4 pounds, and 35 pounds. Which will be the best answer? Can anybody give the answer? What is your answer? S. Okay, some of you are giving the answer 5 by 3/4 pounds. 5 by 3/4 pounds. So this is right answer, because earlier in the same passage, the information is given here. Look at this information. Did you know that if you weighed 70 pounds on earth, ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು 70 ಪೌಂಡ್ ತೂಕ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ರೆ, you would weigh only 11.5 pounds. ನೀವು 11.5 11.5 pounds, you would weigh just 11.5 pounds, and that's why now question is 35 pounds. ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, if you weigh 35 pounds on earth, ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ 35 ಪೌಂಡ್ ತೂಕ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ರೆ, your weight on the moon would be half of that 11.5. ಅದರ 11.5 ನ ಅರ್ಧ ಭಾಗ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. And then the right answer will be 5 by 3/4. 5 by 3/4 pounds is the right answer. And now look at the second question. Meteorites are. So, what do you mean by meteorites according to the passage? That particular passage, there is an information about meteorites in the passage. Passage ಅಲ್ಲಿ meteorites ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆ ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. And ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? That is the question. Options are given like this. Reflections of the sun's light. That is the first option. Second option, large holes on the moon. Large holes on the moon. Third option, interesting things that made the moon beautiful. And fourth one is large rocks that hit the moon. So which one will be the right answer? Meteorites are option A, reflections of the sun's light, large holes on the moon, interesting things that made the moon beautiful, large rocks that hit the moon. To understand this concept, you have to reread the paragraph again. Option, most of you are giving option number. Some of you are giving 2 and some of you are giving 4. And look at this particular paragraph again. So meteorites. So look at this line. Some people say, look at this line. Some people say the moon is made out of switch seas because there are holes called craters. Those holes are called as craters. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲೆ ತಗ್ಗುಗಳಿರುವ ಭಾಗಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Craters on the moon, and the craters were caused by large rocks from space called meteorites hitting the moon. It means meteorites are the large rocks. ಅವೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಂಡೆಗಲ್ಲಗಳಾಗಿವೆ. ದಟ್ ಹಿಟ್ ದ ಮೂನ್. ಬಂಡೆಗಲ್ಲಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದಾಗಿದೆ? ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಗೇನ್. Meteorites are large rocks that hit the moon is the right answer. Here, large holes on the moon, actually large holes on the moon, they are called as craters. The large holes on the moon are called as craters. ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕರೆಯಲಾಗಿದೆ? Craters ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯಲಾಗಿದೆ. That is the point. But the last option, look at this, large rocks. These are the meteorites. So meteorites are actually the large rocks that hit the moon. They come and hit the moon. That's why there are holes created, and those holes are called as craters. ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು craters ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. So the right option is fourth one is the right option for this question. Meteorites are large rocks that hit the moon. And now look at the third question. Early visitors on the moon. So here, early visitor means you have given an information in the month of July 1969. 1969 two American astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, have stepped on the moon. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ ಕೈಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And they left behind. ಅವ್ರು ಏನನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Option A, space suits and helmet. Do you think they left space suits and helmet? Option B, footprints and a flag. Footprints and a flag is the option. And third option, rocks and meteorites. And fourth option is mirrors and a lamp. So to understand this particular paragraph, the first paragraph, the answer is then, you would still be able to see their footprints. You would be still able to see their footprints. Look at this, footprints. And they also left behind their national flag. These are the two things they left behind there on the moon. The early visitors means those Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. They left behind footprints and a flag is the right answer. And The others are wrong answers. Space suit and helmet, mirrors and a lamp, rocks and meteorites. They are wrong answers. Footprints and a flag is the right answer. Now look at the fourth question. The statements that is true with respect to the passage. This is very important. The statement that is true with respect to the passage. With respect to the passage, you have to tell what is true, not your opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter here. Your opinion doesn't matter here. The statement that is true with respect to the passage. Passage ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. Footprints on the moon have the names of astronauts them. First option, footprints on the moon have the names of astronauts on them. ಅಂದ್ರೆ what the astronauts left behind there. The first point is footprints. Is there a name of those astronauts on each footprints? That is the question. And then moon is always very hot. ಚಂದ್ರ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಬಿಸಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. Meteorites hits have created craters on the moon. Meteorites hit have created the craters on the moon. And last one is earth is responsible for the moon's shine. So here are the three important options that will be considered as wrong, and only one option will be right. And which option do you prefer for that particular question? Option number 4. Most of you go for 4. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಜನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, 4ಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. So earth is responsible for the moon's shine. Do you think earth is responsible for the moon's shine? ಭೂಮಿನೇ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಚಂದ್ರ ಹೊಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Footprints on the moon have the names of astronauts on them. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಗುರುತುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಯಾತ್ರಿಕರ ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿವೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೂನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಚಂದ್ರ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಬಿಸಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೆಟಿಯೋರೈಟ್ ಹಿಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಮೂನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉಲ್ಕೆಗಳ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಪಳಿಕೆ ಚಂದ್ರನ ಮೇಲೆ ರಂಧ್ರಗಳನ್ನ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್? Meteorites hits have created craters on the moon is the right answer for that particular question. So this one is right. All the three are wrong. Footprints on the moon have the names of astronauts on them. There is no names of the astronauts. Moon is always very hot anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Sometimes moon is very hot and sometimes moon is very cold. ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಅದು ಹಾಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And earth is responsible for the moon's shine. Earth is not actually responsible for the moon's shine. That's why the most important point is third one is a right answer. And now look at the next question. So this is about figures of speech. Moon is like a mirror. The figures of speech in this line is, the figure of speech in this line is option A, personification, option B, metaphor, option C, alliteration, option D, simile. So if you have a well idea about figures of speech, then you can be able to answer that question. Option, which one is right? Moon is like a mirror. Here, moon is compared to a mirror. So these two things are compared each other. These two things are compared each other. ಈ ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. And we have used the words like, as and so. If comparison is made with the words like, as and so, ಲೈಕ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೋ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಚ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲಿ. ಅದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಸಿಮಿಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ In metaphor also we compare two things or two persons. Metaphor ನಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎರಡು ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು ಇಬ್ಬರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್, ಆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ದೇರ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮೂರು ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ simile. So the right option is simile. The synonym of the word bounce. So bounce ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. Look at the paragraph again. Reread the paragraph again. Do you know, if you weighed 70 pounds on earth, you would weigh only 11.5 pounds on the moon. And if you went for a walk on the moon, you would bounce with each step. You would bounce with each step. So here the word bounce is used. So what is the meaning of the word bounce? The meaning of the words have been given there. Now look at the options again. The synonym of the word bounce is, first one is rebound, lodge, stick, and sweep. Which one is right? To bounce means to rebound. That is, to bounce means to come back. It means to rebound. That is the synonym. Synonym means words having the same meaning. ಶಬ್ದಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ that is called as. So that is ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, rebound is right answer. Seventh one is knowing not to dash to place his foot. The astronaut kept his foot in a large dash. Fill in the blanks. Here two blanks have been given and two answers is given. First option, wear and hole. Second option, wear and hole. Third option, wear and hole. And fourth option, wear and hole. Knowing not where to place his foot. ಪಾದವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಯದೆ, knowing not where to place his foot, the astronaut kept his foot in a large hole. So here where and where is given here, and here the hole and hole. These two words have the same sound but different spelling, and these hole and hole are called as homophones. ಇವುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು homophones ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. The words having the same sound but different spelling and meaning. Spelling change ಇರಬೇಕು, meaning change ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆದರೆ sound ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಒಂದೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. Such words are called as homophones. Here the word hole ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಆಗಿರುವುದು, and this particular hole ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇನಾಗಿದ್ದು ರಂಧ್ರವಾಗಿರುವುದು. Knowing not where, W-H-E-R-E, where to place his foot, the astronaut kept his foot in a large hole. ಪಾದವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಯದೆ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರೋನಾಟ್ ಯಾತ್ರಿಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ, ಒಂದು ರಂಧ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾದವನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಟ. ಹೋಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ blank is to be filled with the word where, and second blank is to be filled with the word HOLE, hole. So this is how we have to understand the concept. And now eighth question is like this. Here is another interesting thing about the moon. So this is the line already given in the passage. Here is another interesting thing about the moon. ಚಂದ್ರನ ಕುರಿತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾದ ಪದ ಇದೆ. The word interesting here is it a noun or an adjective or an adverb or a verb? So the particular word interesting, this particular word interesting is describing a thing. What kind of thing? An interesting thing. What kind ಎನ್ನುವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಅದು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. What kind of a thing? ಎಂತಹ ವಸ್ತು, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. That's why it is an adjective. The word used here, the word interesting is an adjective. That is considered as adjective. Adjective is a word that describes a noun or pronoun. Adjective ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ನಾಮಪದ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವನಾಮ ಪದವನ್ನ ವರ್ಣನೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಪದ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, that is called as adjective. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, adjective ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Particularly the word interesting describe a thing by asking a question, what kind of thing is it? ಎಂತಹ ವಸ್ತು ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. That's why that is an adjective. So like this, the first 8 questions are related to a passage comprehension. ಅದೊಂದು passage comprehension ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ. First of all, you have to read the passage carefully and understand as much as possible and read the questions carefully and come back again to the passage. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು and then try to write the answers for that particular question. So this is how we have to understand the passage. And now look at the next question. So question number 9 to 15, it means 9 to 15 ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ದೇ ಆರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. It means that there is a poem that question is related to the comprehension of the poem comprehension ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. So look at the first, the title of the poem, A Child's Thought, ಮಗುವಿನ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, that is the title. A Child's Thought is a title given there. So first of all, you have to read that particular poem, A Child's Thought. At 7, when I go to bed, I find such pictures in my head. At 7, when I go to bed, I find such pictures in my head. Castles with dragons prowling round. Castles with dragons prowling round. Gardens where magic fruits are found. Fair ladies prisoned in a tower or lost in an enchanted bower. While gallant horsemen ride by streams that border all this land of dreams, I find so clearly in my head at 7 when I go to bed. So this is the first stanza. In second stanza, at 7 when I wake again, the same child is telling, at 7 when I wake again, the magic land I seek in vain. A chair stands where the castle frowned. The carpet hides the garden ground. A chair stands where the castle frowned. The carpet hides the garden ground. No fairies strip across the floor. Boots and not horsemen flank the door. And where the blue stream's rippling ran is now a bath and water can. I seek the magic land in vain at 7 when I wake again. So this poem is written by Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson ಅವರು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. And based on this particular poem, there are some questions given here. So first of all, read that questions. The pictures that the child finds in his head. So there are two stanzas given in that particular poem. A poem nalli ಎರಡು stanzaಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. The first stanza, the child imagines, imaginary aspects ಇದೆ. And in second stanza, when the child wakes up, ಮಗು ಎಚ್ಚರಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. The first one is imaginary world, second one is real world ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. So imaginary world ಅಲ್ಲಿ what did the child see? ಏನನ್ನ ಕಂಡಿದೆ? The pictures that the child finds in his head are. ತನ್ನ ಯೋಚನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನಿವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. The first option, ladies in gardens. So look at this, ladies in gardens ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Horsemen in castles. The horsemen are in castles ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Castles with dragons ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. And fourth one is dragons by the stream ಆಗಿದೆ. And now look at the poem again. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಪದ್ಯವನ್ನ ಓದ್ಬೇಕೀಗ. So the relation, look at the words that are related each other. So castle is related with dragons. The word castle is related with dragon. Castle is related with dragon. And this gardens were magic fruits. So the word garden is related with magic fruit. Garden is related with magic fruit. And now fair ladies are present in a tower. Fair ladies ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಾಗಿದೆ? That is related to tower antide. And now come to the options. Castle is related to garden. So here ladies is related to garden. So this option automatically goes wrong. Ladies are present in a tower antide. So there is no relation. Horsemen and castle is given, but castle is related to dragons annodagide. Dragons is not related to the stream. So the first castles with dragons. So this is the right option because that is given castles. The dragons are prowling around the castle. The dragons are prowling around the castle anta alli pada kodlagide. That's why castles with dragons is the right option for that particular question. And now look at this example. Dragons are prowling around castles. It means dragons are roaming around castles. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಸುತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. The dragons are prowling around the castles. Why are they prowling around? That is the most important question. Option A, protect the ladies. Option B, protect the gardens. Option 3, protect the horsemen. And option 4, get some food. Which will be the right answer for this question? Dragons are prowling around. Dragons are prowling around the castles to protect the ladies, protect the gardens, protect the horsemen, and get some food. The meaning of the word prowl is very important here. The meaning of the word prowl is to roam around to get a prey. To roam around to get a prey. ಬೇಟೆಯನ್ನ ಹುಡುಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬೇಟೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನ ಪಡೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? That is called as prowl. So the dragons are prowling around the castles to get some food is a right answer. It means to get prey antide. Prey, that particular prey gives the idea to get some food. That is the right answer there. And now look at the next question. The carpet hides the garden ground, the figure of speech in this sentence. Earlier in the same question paper, in the passage, we have given a figures of speech, that is simile, metaphor, anta nimge kodlagittu. If the comparison made with the words like, as, so, ಲೈಕ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೋ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ನೌ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ದ ಕಾರ್ಪೆಟ್ hides the garden ground. Here the two sounds g and this g, look at this, garden ground. The sounds g and g are repeated here. G and G, the sounds g and g, these are repeated here. If the repetition of sound is made in a particular sentence, in a same sentence, whether it is a consonant sound or it is a vowel sound, ಅದು vowel sound ಇರಬಹುದು, consonant sound ಇರಬಹುದು, repetition ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ that is called as alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of a particular sound in a sentence. So that is the definition of alliteration. Alliteration, it is a repetition of particular sound, whether it is a consonant sound or it is a vowel sound. If it is consonant sound repeated, consonant sound ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ that is called as consonants. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು consonants ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. If vowel sound is repeated, vowel sound repeat ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ that is called as assonance ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So totally that is called as alliteration. So that's why the right option is alliteration is a right option. Look at the next question. If castles with dragons is imaginary. So the first stanza, as earlier told, the first stanza is an imaginary thought of a child. ಅದೊಂದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಊಹೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. And in the second stanza, the thought of a child is real. If castles with dragons is imaginary, the ordinary objects in this poem are. ಈ poem ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಂಜಾ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಂಜಾ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿವೆ, ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇವೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನಾವು chairs, boots, water can, first option. Carpets, gardens and dragons. Look at this particular option. So garden is given in the first stanza, that is an imaginary stanza, and dragons also, that is also used in an imaginary stanza. Automatically this option goes wrong. And now magic fruits is given in the first stanza, and that is imaginary stanza, and dragons is also an imaginary stanza. That's why that option go also wrong. And carpets, boots and horsemen here are given. Here are chairs, boots and water can. Here carpets, boots and horsemen. So now look at that, this horseman is also given in the first stanza, that is imaginary stanza. So automatically this also goes wrong. The final answer is chairs, boots and water can. These are the three ordinary things that we see in the second stanza. Look at this: chairs, boots and water cans. Again reread that paragraph: chairs, boots and water can. Now look at this: boots is here, the object boots, and chair is also given here, and water can is also given here. So these are the three ordinary objects that we see in the second stanza. This is the stanza having the ordinary things. But in the first stanza, there are some imaginary things. Alli enagive imaginary ಆಗಿರುವ things ಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. So that's why the right option for that question is, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾಗಿರುವ ಉತ್ತರ ಯಾವುದಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ so chairs, boots and water can is the right answer for that particular question. So this is right. The phrase which means without success. ವಿಥೌಟ್ ಸಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯರ್ಥವಾಗಿರುವುದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದೇ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪದ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ವೇನ್. The phrase which means without success is in vain is the right answer. In vain means without any success, useless effort anta adu artha kodutte. The word rippling can be matched with. Rippling ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? Is it with gardens or dreams or streams or magic fruits? And now come to the poem again. Rippling. So, and look at this particular line. And where the blue streams rippling ran. So this particular word streams is matched with the word rippling. So this particular rippling is matched with streams. That's why the option is rippling streams. That is the right option. The phrase which means without success, that is vain. And now the question. The word rippling can be matched with streams is right. It is not matched with gardens here in the passage. It is not matched with dreams in the passage. And it is not matched with magic fruits in the passage. But rippling is matched with streams. ಅದು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯುಕ್ತ ಆಗಿದೆ? That is matched with streams. And now look at the next question. That border all this land of dreams. So this is a line already given in your poem ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. That border, that is the border, all this land of dreams. So that is the border for that land where I dream of. Another, that is the point. So that border ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? Is it a noun or verb or adverb or adjective? Here that border, the word border ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? Here the word border is a noun. It is not adjective, it is not adverb or it is verb. That is a noun. So like this, the first 15 questions are related to paragraph comprehension and also poem comprehension. Passage comprehension and poem comprehension is given there. That is the first 15 question. And the next 5 questions are related to grammar. And in this session, we will discuss those 5 questions also. Now look at that 5 questions. Direction 16, choose the most appropriate option from the following. 5 are of ಏನಾಗಿವೆ grammar related questions. Rani is fond dash music. Rani is fond of music. Fond always follows the preposition. Fond ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, preposition of ಅನ್ನ follow up ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Rani is fond of music. That is right option. I bought dash a pen and dash a pencil. A pen and a pencil, an pen and the pencil, the and a, the and the ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗುಡ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ದಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎ and an, article a and an are used with the sense one. That is the foremost use of the article. Article a ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು, ಆನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಒನ್. ಒಂದು ಎನ್ನುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎ ಅಥವಾ ಆನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಎ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೋನೆಂಟ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ವೊವೆಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್. ವೊವೆಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಬಳಕೆ ಆದಾಗ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಬಾಟ್, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್. ಸೊ the word pen begins with the sound pay, and that pay is a mixture of the two sounds per and a. Per is consonant sound and a is vowel sound. Here the letter article a is right. I bought a pen. And again a pencil. Pencil also begins with the sound pay. ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪೇ ಎನ್ನುವ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಪೇ ಇ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಪ ಅನ್ನುವ ಕಾನ್ಸೋನೆಂಟ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಎ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವೊವೆಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್. ಐ ಬಾಟ್ ಅ ಪೆನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಐ ಬಾಟ್ ಆನ್ ಪೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಐ ಬಾಟ್ ದ ಪೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಬಾಟ್ ದ ಪೆನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ a pen. It means one pen and one pencil. Article a and a is best suit in that particular case. And now, Madan met his dash friend. The word child is given. The correct word form to be filled in the blank is. So fill in the blanks with the suitable form of word. Suitable form ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್? ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್, child friend, childishly friend, childhood friend. So here child becomes childhood friend. So this option goes right. Childhood friend is right answer. And now look at this question is about the active voices and passive voices. The peon opened the gate. So this is the question. The peon opened the gate. So here the word the peon is subject used here. The peon ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, this is subject and the gate is object. And look at the verb form opened. This is in verb number 2. So here the tense is simple past tense. The tense is simple past. So first of all, for active voices and passive voice, first of all we use object, and right form of helping verb is to be used, and v3 form of verb is to be used, and the preposition by is used, and subject is placed lastly. Anta, that is the form. So what is object? The gate is object. The gate is given here, and it is, as it is simple past tense, the helping verb used in simple past is was and were. ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ವಾಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ವರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಗೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ವಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ವರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ದ ಗೇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಓಪನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ಯೂನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್. ದ ಗೇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂತ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರಾಂಗ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಬ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಗೇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಂತ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರಾಂಗ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಬ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಗೇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಪನ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಗೇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಓಪನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ಯೂನ್. Next, he said, my mother is writing letters. So the above sentence can be reported as the reported speech ide. He said. So he said that is this is reporting verb. He said is reporting verb. My mother is writing letters. That is reported speech. And the type of a sentence in reported speech is my mother is writing letters. That is simple sentence. That's why you have to add the conjunction that with it. He said that. He said becomes he said that. He said that. He said that. He said that. And he said that. My mother becomes his mother. Everything is right. His mother. And verb form is ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, the present tenses should be changed to their respective past tenses in the ಅವೇನಾಗಬೇಕು, past tenses ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಾಗಬೇಕು, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. am, are, is becomes was and were here. So here is retained same, that's why that is wrong. Will be is written here, that's why that is also wrong. And had been is written here, that's why that's also wrong. Automatically he said that his mother was writing letters, that is right answer. So like this, the first 15 questions are related to paragraph comprehension and also poem comprehension, and 5 questions are related to grammar aspects. So today we have discussed 20 questions related to paragraph comprehension and poem comprehension and also the grammar aspects. In the next class we are going to have the next part, that is methodology. Okay, I think it is time for me to close my session. I hope I wish you all the best for your examination, which will be going on 6th November next month. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Be safe. Okay.